Have you ever wondered what happens when you press the power button on your computer? It seems instant, but a complex series of steps takes place to bring your system to life. Think of it like making a cup of coffee. Pressing the button is just the start. Today, I'm diving deep into the boot process, the journey from pressing power to seeing your desktop. Let's get started. Imagine waking up in the morning. You stretch, check your phone, and make sure everything's in order before getting out of bed. Your computer does something similar. When you hit the power button, the power on self-test or post is triggered. Your computer's firmware, either BIOS, Basic Input-Output System, or the newer UEFI, Unified Extensible Firmware Interface, takes control. BIOS is the older system found on legacy computers. It initializes the hardware, checks memory, and looks for a bootable drive. UEFI is the modern replacement, offering faster boot times, enhanced security, and graphical interfaces. It supports features like Secure Boot, which prevents unauthorized OS loading. Now think of the bootloader like a restaurant menu. When you sit down, you get a list of options to choose from. Similarly, after BIOS or UEFI completes its checks, it looks for a bootable bootloader in the system storage. On Windows, this is Windows Boot Manager, or bootmgr. On Linux, it's typically Grub, the Grand Unified Bootloader. And on macOS, the bootloader is built into the firmware. The bootloader is responsible for loading the operating system kernel into memory. If multiple OS are installed, the bootloader lets you choose one before proceeding. Now that we've selected an OS, think of it like choosing a game to play on your console. The game loads into memory so you can start playing. Similarly, the kernel is loaded into RAM, or random access memory. The kernel is the core of the operating system, responsible for managing CPU, memory and hardware, handling user inputs, and running processes. At this stage, device drivers are loaded, allowing the OS to communicate with hardware like keyboards, displays, and storage. Finally, once the OS loads all required services, you're presented with the login screen. Think of this like unlocking your phone. You put in your password or fingerprint and boom, you're in. After entering your credentials, the OS fully loads into its graphical user interface or GUI, displaying your desktop. Let's recap. Power on, BIOS UEFI initializes hardware. Bootloader finds and loads the OS. Kernel takes control and loads system drivers. Login screen appears and your OS is ready to use. This entire process happens in just a few seconds. Pretty amazing, right? Just like waiting for your coffee machine to finish brewing, your computer goes through a series of steps to get ready for you. And in the next video, I'm diving deeper into BIOS versus UEFI. What's the difference and which one is better? So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more tech deep dives, and drop a comment below. What's your favorite OS to boot up? See you in the next one. Like, share, and subscribe for more tech content.